What is going on, everybody? It is Friday, 16th of April, 2021. Hey, James, what's going on, buddy? It's cloudy and 64 Fahrenheit. All right, let's see if I can trump you today. Oh, yeah, smack the like button. Man, he reminds me every time. Guys, would you do me a favor and smack that like button? I would really appreciate it if you did that. All right. Oh, that's funny. I just looked down and I saw one of my own ads targeting me. That's kind of funny. So, what is the weather today, James? Let's check this stuff out. It is going to be 69 today. Oh, good, you can hear me. Awesome. He says loud and clear in Savannah. Man, I want to get back to that buffet there, guys. Man, that buffet is so good in Savannah. And the Pink House is so good in Savannah. I want to get back there. Okay, it looks like it's 69. But it feels like it's 55, so it's not that bright and sunny here today. Oh well. Today's our Friday lunch day, guys. And before I get into all that, hey, this live is to help you guys start, run, and grow your online businesses. So any questions you have about starting, running, and growing your online business, feel free to put it in that chat section. I love to get your questions, comments, suggestions, whatever you want to put it there. Even if this isn't live to you, you're watching a recording, go in there and put your questions. I come back and I answer those things. I usually sit down a few times a week and go through and answer everybody's questions. So feel free to do that. I love getting your questions and comments and all that stuff in there. And while I'm talking, anything you pops into your mind, you want to ask me, I will look down there and I will check those out and I will answer those questions for you. So there you go. Today we're going to talk about decluttering your smartphone. If you got one of these, it's like I've got like so many apps on here, but I do have some organization, and I'm going to give you 10 steps where you can kind of organize your smartphone. Man, phones have come so far. I remember when I had my flip phone and they were talking about having phones where you could text people, and I thought, who the heck is going to type out a bunch of words on their phone? I mean, just give them a call. And I got to tell you, I don't talk to anybody on my phone, but I think my daughter and son. But outside of that, unless it's a business thing I have to do, I don't talk on my phone. I don't know, you can put in the comments, do you guys talk on your phone? How often do you actually have a conversation on your phone? Almost everything is text, right? I mean, we don't do anything but text. And then they talked about apps to do things. I thought, what the heck is an app? And what am I going to use an app for? I'll never use that. And now that's what I do all day long is I use my apps. Let me get a little sip here real quick. So that's cool that you have these apps, but isn't it true that your phone gets like incredibly cluttered after a while? I mean, ridiculously cluttered. I have so many apps on my phone, and I'm using some of these techniques I'm going to tell you today. But man, if you don't go through and declutter your phone every now and then, you are screwed. I mean, it gets ridiculous on your phone. So what I want to do is I want to go through some of the things you can do to declutter your phone so that you don't have all these issues and you get a little bit more organized. So unless you guys got anything else right now, I'll just go ahead and get started on that and give you some suggestions. And I do want to, at the end of this, tell you what I'm going to be doing for the rest of the day today, tell you what I'm going to be doing this weekend, so you can kind of get an idea. If you want to be a digital marketer, I'll give you an idea of what you got to do. And I will tell you, you got to do a lot of work. And that's where I lose most of my audience, is I'm not the person who's going to tell you that you can work a few hours a week and make $1 million a year, because you can't. It doesn't work that way. And I think it's funny because I do have some friends who are digital marketers, and they sell these programs on how you can just work a few hours a week and make millions of dollars. And they themselves work their butts off. They're constantly working, but they're selling programs telling you don't have to work. So I don't know. I don't know how that works. But they do it. Let's see. James Breen says he is over 90% text. Oh yeah, I think I am too, James. But you know what I've done, which helps me a lot, is I use talk to text because I'm not a good typist. So then when it comes to the screen where you got to use a couple thumbs or something, I'm really bad. So I just hit that talk to text button. And it's pretty darn good as long as you enunciate. That talk to text works pretty good. So let's talk about all these things on your phone. Now, the first thing you can do to declutter your phone, and this seems really painfully obvious, but some of us just don't do it. And that's number one, delete unused apps. Okay, if you've got apps on your phone and you're not using them, why don't you just delete them? I mean, we've all downloaded an app and we discover it wasn't as useful as we once thought, or it cultivates our need to use it. We just need to clean out our phone, get rid of all that stuff. Okay, purging your phone of apps you no longer use will keep your phone running fast. That's another thing. Your phone can slow down and clutter free. I mean, who has the time to look through a bunch of random apps just to find one they actually need? So the first thing is just go in there and delete stuff. Before you do any of the other things I'm going to tell you today, just go in and delete. Go and do that. You better sit here. Number two is hide less frequently used apps. Now, you probably have a few apps and tools on your phone, and you may use them, but you don't use them as frequently. Excuse me. But what you want to do with these is it may be, it could be something like a photo editing app, something like that, or games, or I don't have any games. I can't do the games thing. Or proprietary apps that are pre-installed on your phone with the operating system. Some of these apps we're not even able to delete, so we kind of want to hide them someplace else. And others come in handy on down the road. So if you got an Android phone, which I do not, but if you do, you can install an app hiding app. There's an app hiding app called Nova Launcher or Apex Launcher, which allows you to store apps in drawers. Okay, if you've got, like I say, an Android phone, so they won't clutter up your home screen. Depending on your phone model, you may be able to create your own app folders. Which I do, and I'm going to talk about that in a second on iPhones. You can create your own app folders. You have to worry about it. And that's number three. Number three is create your own app folders. Now that's what I do. I've got one that is travel. I got one that's restaurants. I've got different, as I look through here, let me see here. What do I have? And I went and scrolled to another screen. I've got travel, like I said, restaurants. I've got business. I've got social media. So I've got all these different ones that I use so that I can put a whole lot of different ones in there. And I do keep my food and travel ones on the main screen there because I use those so much. But you can certainly create these folders. They'll help keep your phone from being cluttered and distracting. And it's even helpful to put time eaters like Facebook and Instagram into folders. That way, it's not the first app you automatically open when you open your phone. Okay, that way you don't go to these stupid things. Number 4, organize your apps by task. Okay, so if it fits your organizational style, you can create folders based on what your various apps do. For example, create a scheduling folder if you have that, an organizing folder, a communication folder, whatever it is. You can create folders for workout, health, fitness, whatever you want to do, and keep those apps in that particular folder. Organizing apps by task will help you find exactly what you need when you need it. It also helps keep you focused on the task at hand so you won't get tempted to check out social media. Oh my God, social media is such a time suck when you really are attempting to access your banking info. So I think that's a really good idea. My phone is running slow because I'm running out of storage. Got to do something soon. James, I would also suggest you use I don't know if you have an iPhone or an Android, but I've got an iPhone and I use Apple storage, the cloud thing they have, and that helps a whole lot to put stuff there. But I will touch upon that a little bit more in just a second also. The other thing you can do is organize your apps by usage with emojis. Okay, so you can actually use emojis. You can also organize folders by usage. Create folders for your most frequently used apps and your less frequently used apps. Move less used folders to another screen. So don't even keep them on your main screen. Move them to another screen. You know how you slide through all the screens? Put them on a screen that you don't use that often. On your iPhone, you can organize your folders using emojis, which are kind of visually appealing. Use the runner emoji to name the folder for, let's say, your health and fitness. Okay, that makes sense to you. Use the typewriter or pen for blogging apps, or use a phone emoji to represent communication tools. There's tons of emojis to use, and it certainly makes the app, filing a whole lot more fun. Now, iPhones. I have an iPhone. I like iPhones because whatever I do on my iPhone, it goes to my computer, it goes to my iPad, it goes to my watch, it goes to every device I have. And I really like that because it helps keep me organized. So what you want to do is organize your dock and home screen on your iPhone. So you want to keep your home screen and your dock organized by storing only the apps you most often use. So like on my home screen here, what I've got is just the apps that I'm going to use on a daily basis. And a lot of times I'll look at this and I'll say, am I using these apps? Are these apps that I'm using? And so far, if I look at it today, yeah, these are all apps I'm using. I look at my stocks too many times during the day, but it's interesting to watch them go up and down. But I have a folder here, like right here I have one that says finance. I don't know if you can see it or not, but it says finance. And when I hit the finance one, it goes to, and let me go right here so I can see what you guys are seeing. But when I go to the finance one, it's got PayPal, it's got Navy Fed, it's got Credit Karma, it's got loans, it's got stocks, and it's got Thinkorswim. And Thinkorswim is my, there it is, okay, Thinkorswim. That is my app for my stocks through TD Ameritrade. And I like to look at those a lot, so I do. James Brain, Motorola Z Play Android. We have gotten into a serious relationship. I know, isn't it funny? I mean, as kids, we could have never dreamed of any of this stuff, and now we use it every single day, and we don't think twice about it. Somebody posted the other day on Facebook one of the stereo systems we had like in the 80s and 90s where they had all the stacked amplifiers and mixers and all that stuff. And I made the mistake, and they said, that's what we all dreamed of in the 80s and 90s. And I made the mistake of saying, yeah, now the sound of my cell phone is just as good. And oh my God, did that piss somebody off. Some guy was like, I'm an audiophile, and that's not true because you can't get this sound and this sound. He just went into all this detail. And I was like, oh my gosh, you're way too much into music and sound, that's for sure. But the point is, things have improved so much now. I mean, it's just so much better now. That was number 6. I did the iPhone one, right? Okay, cool. Number 7 is for Android. Keep your home screen minimal. Android users can access their apps from the apps section, tray, drawer, whatever you want to call it. For most, they're sorted alphabetically, but if you've got a Samsung, user apps are sorted by most recent downloads. Now that's kind of goofy because you could have downloaded something recently and it may not even be a great app. It may just be something that you downloaded to check out to see how it works. Now you've got it on your phone. So that's not exactly a great way to do it. Keeping your home screen organized to only the apps that you regularly use will really help you declutter your phone too. So limit your home screen to maybe 6 or 9 apps. Like iPhone users, focus on organized and key communication tools you use most often. You want to include, like your email, your texting. Now, on an iPhone, the ones that I most use, let me pull it up here for a second, has this like strip on the bottom here. So those are the ones I most use, okay? And that is like my phone, obviously, my email, Facebook, which I don't know why I have that there. I don't use Facebook that often. And also internet. So if I want to go on a browser or something like that. Store your less frequently used apps on other screens. You'll still be able to access everything by scrolling through your app tray or whatever, or by visiting another screen, but your home screen will become your go-to hub for productivity. And that's, nowadays there's so much coming at us that we're really trying to be more productive on a daily basis. That's what we're trying to do, and be less cluttered. I know on Fridays, and I'm going to get back to that was number 7. I got 8, 9, and 10 yet. But on Fridays, we kind of dial it back a little bit. We don't work as hard. As a matter of fact, every Friday we go out to lunch somewhere. We pick a cool place to go and have a nice meal. And that's what we do on Fridays. But, people will say, well, my God, you're taking a whole day off. Not really. I mean, I'll do a little bit of work maybe in the afternoon or something. But it is a chill day for me. But Saturdays and Sundays I normally work. Sundays I don't work a full day, but I'll do something. And my wife has a live on Sundays, which you ought to check that out, man. If you got a dog, you want to check out her stuff on Sundays. She's a amazing dog trainer, and she always has something really cool on Sundays. So if you want, look up. Let me see here. I'll put it in here. Check out the Furry Family Coach, Jessica L. Fisher, on YouTube. Now check her out, guys. I just text that in there. She always has a really cool Q&A on Sunday, and I think it's at 11:30 a.m. So you want to check that out, and it's live Q&A, so you can actually talk to her, ask questions about your dogs, all that stuff. All right, number 8, and I mentioned this briefly in the beginning. Use cloud storage. Excuse me, to save memory on your phone, James, and I was just talking to you about that. Back up the information to the cloud. Evaluate your highest areas of memory usage. Usually it's going to be like photos, and my photos gets really clogged up because like I'll do a screenshot of something to show it to somebody, and then I forget I did that, and I've got all these random screenshots on my phone which I don't need. So every now and then you just got to go through and get rid of all that garbage. But the other things that take up a lot of space are documents, music, video files. Store them on the cloud service rather than on your phone. You don't need them all the time. If you're an Android user, you can check out Dropbox, which actually Dropbox works for Apple too. You can check out Amazon Drive, Microsoft OneDrive, Google Drive. I use Google Drive too. This may already be preloaded on your phone. iPhone users can use iCloud, which is the one I talked about, and I think I pay like $2.99 a month or something like that. Or you can use OneDrive as well. Google Drive for iOS, and Dropbox is also available for iPhone, like I said. Some cloud servers are free, but most require a monthly fee depending on the size of your files. I pay for Dropbox, I pay for iCloud, I pay for so many things. God knows, it drives me crazy sometimes. Fortunately, the fees are nominal. You can use a cloud service for your computer. You can typically use the same for your phone, and it's covered under your monthly charge. Number nine, let's get to number 9 here. We're almost to number 10. My God, we're moving along today. It's only what, 9:17? We're getting a lot of stuff done. Let's see here. James says controversy is good for creating passion and participation. You are 100% right, my man. You know, if you're a little bit controversial, you know, you're gonna be shaking things up, and people are gonna be mad at you, or they're gonna be happy with you. They're gonna jump on your side, or they're gonna, you know, be pushed away from you. But controversy is certainly something, and you know, I don't do it that much. I guess I'm controversial in as much as I tell people you got to work hard instead of, you know, they don't have to work and they can make money. However, I give them stuff that actually works, and if they try it, they find out that it actually works. Number 9, what can you do? Stream music. Okay, when you use a music streaming service, there's really no reason to clog up your phone with MP3 files. I don't know why anybody stores any music on their phone. Almost any music you want is available. Spotify is one of the most popular streaming services with a free version, or with ads. For $10 a month, you can get an ad-free version, and for $15 a month, you can do your entire family. You know, so why would you actually put files on your phone? Makes no sense. Apple Music, Pandora, also SoundCloud are also popular options. Most streaming services offer such a huge variety of music, you know, suggestions, extras. You won't miss your MP3s, guys. You just won't. There's a great deal about streaming that there's no extra charge for your phone. It feels strange at first, and I know it does, especially for those of you who grew up, you know, purchasing albums and cassette tapes and all that. You don't own the music, but you can access it any time, and it's all available on your phone. So, I mean, really, why bother? Let me get another sip here. Why bother? And guys, feel free to put your questions, comments, suggestions in that chat section as we're talking today. And also, I do want to mention, I didn't mention you need to subscribe. I should do that. You need to subscribe and ring the bell, turn on all bell notifications so you're notified every time I go live or I upload a video. It's really important that you do that, and give me a thumbs up if you don't mind. I think we're down to number 10 already. Man, we're making some good time today. What time is it? Only been here 19 minutes. We're down to number 10. We'll have some time for some questions if you want, or I take off early. Either thing you want to do. If you don't put questions in there, then I'm out of here early. Number 10, back up your photos and delete. That's one of the best things you can do. Just start backing up all that crap and delete it, okay? Another huge source of phone clutter in phones is photos. Photos. Oh my God. You know, they just clog up your phone so much because we're always taking pictures with our phone now. And a lot of the photos, if you think about it, you don't even want anymore. Okay, maybe you took a photo of a meal you had and sent it to a friend. You don't need to save that. That's not important to you anymore. We tend to take more photos in 2 minutes than the entire world snapped in its entirety in the 1800s. Did you know that? So the number of photos taken to date is in the trillions. That's a lot of photos, guys. It's in the trillions. Let's see. Paul says, I find I make a monthly declutter day. That's really smart. It's really smart. Pick a day. Say, the first day of the month, or the 15th of the month, or whatever. I'm just going to go in and declutter stuff. Here's the thing, though. It's tough to narrow down photos and even delete them, especially photos of our kids or our loved ones. Many of us want to keep every single moment, even if their eyes are closed to the photo or it's making a weird face or whatever it is. The point is, you don't need them all. And you're going to have memories in your head whether you have the photos or not. I get a kick, and I'm not making fun of people with tattoos, but I get a kick out of the people who have a tattoo on their arm and say, well, this is to remember my brother, my sister, my child, my husband, my wife. And I'm like, you can't remember them without ink on your arm? Is that really beyond you? Once again, not real accepting of tattoos, but I'm not a tattoo person. I'm just not. I don't want to see all that stuff. I think it's silly. I look at it and I go, well, geez, anybody can get a tattoo. But if you have them, hey, I don't slight you for it. Just not my thing. Your video on how to write a book was grand slam out of the events field ballpark. Well, thank you, James. That's very kind of you. I really appreciate that. Anybody can write a book. I used to be impressed with people who wrote books. I was impressed. I remember when I was like 19, my sister was 4 years older than me, and she told me she was going to write a book, and I went, wow, you're going to write a book. I thought, wow, man, you are smart. You're going to write a book. She's now in her 60s, and she hasn't written a book, and I've written several. So saying you write a book is one thing. Writing a book, that's entirely a different thing. Here's the thing, though. It's tough to narrow down these pictures. So narrow down your photos. Delete duplicates. We've got duplicates on our phone now, too. We've got burst. You hold down the button, and it takes a whole lot of pictures of the same thing. Get rid of all that crap. Only keep the best of the best, right? Then move your photos to photo storage, like Google Photos or Snapfish or Flickr or something like that. Let's see here. Back up your shots rather than keeping them on your phone. Use print services like Shutterfly if you want to have a printout, or Walgreens, Costco. Costco has a great print service to create keepsake photos if you prefer tangible, photos. The single action alone will dramatically improve your phone's performance and declutter your phone. So guys, if your phone is slow, the first thing you want to think about is photos, because that's probably the culprit. And the next is probably going to be videos. So get that stuff off of there. Paul says, off topic, when you got divorced and were wanting to start a business, did you have to do any credit repair? I wasn't perfect on my credit back then. Today, my credit's perfect. Literally spotless, perfect. Everything's perfect for probably over 10 years. Credit repair is a funny thing. I know people that make a living really teaching people how to do credit repair, but credit repair really comes down to, your debt to credit ratio. That's your biggest one. Big. I'll tell you how big it is. I literally have hundreds of thousands of dollars in credit cards, but I'll put like purchases on there for my business. And my Beacon store can be like a 823 one day, and it can be a 650 the next day, because I've charged a lot of stuff on a bunch of cards, and then I pay it off every month. Actually, I pay it off every few days. But having that percentage of debt to the amount of credit you have available can dramatically lower your credit score. So that's the biggest thing you can do. And if you can't pay off a lot of your credit cards, the thing to do is apply for more. Because if you apply for more, your amount of debt to credit card actually goes down. That percentage goes down, and it's based on a percentage. Get something like Credit Karma. It's a free app you can get on your phone. I use Credit Karma, and you can click on it. You can see what's going on almost in real time. It's pretty accurate. Another sip here. So that's what I would suggest. But paying stuff off, that's the big key. Trying not to have late payments. This is easy to say if you have money, because I remember when I didn't have money and people would tell me this. I'm like, well, I don't have the money to pay it off. So it was like useless information to me. But paying off your debts, paying them on time, having a low percentage of debt owed to credit cards is very helpful. And there's a lot of credit cards that don't have fees anymore. And a lot of times I'll just grab a credit card because they're offering me $150 if I spend $5,000. I'm like, yeah, I'll switch over to that credit card this month, because I literally will put $50,000-$100,000 on my credit cards, paying for supplies for my business. So I'll go ahead and grab all that. And I get like different cards will pay me 3 or 4% back too. So I mean, some of my cards I'll get $1,500, $2,000 a month back just in percentages of bonuses they give you. So I get that stuff every month, which is kind of nice. Paul, what you got to say here, buddy? I love your comment. The difference between those who write a book and those who don't is those who write a book do it. Anything else is an excuse. Very true. And it's not that hard. I mean, really, it's time consuming, and it's really, man, you just look at it as this huge elephant. But it's like they say, you eat an elephant one bite at a time. You just do, a page or two a day, and in a month you've got a book. It's really not that hard to do. Let's see here. James Breen, suggest everyone read How I Made $10 Million Affiliate Marketing by Antoine Walker, who began digital marketing back in 1999. He has a great life lessons he's learned the hard way. Yeah, I don't know him, but yeah, if you say it's a good book, I'll believe you. Have a great lunch. Peace and blessings always, everyone. James Breen, thank you so much. Secrets to success. There is no try. Do, Yoda. So true. There is. I mean, success is basically a reward for those people who constantly fail. Hey, I ought to write that down. That sounds pretty good. Success is basically a reward for people who constantly fail. And what I mean by that is if you just keep trying stuff, and I do it all the time. I was looking at my ads last night, and I had a whole bunch of keywords and placements that weren't working, and I went through and I just deleted those and paused all those so that the ones that are kind of working get more play. But that's a small example. It's just do stuff every day. What have you done today to allow yourself to be successful? You can't allow yourself to be successful if you don't do anything. I mean, you got to do stuff. It's the number one thing I see is 99.9% of the people in the world just don't ever do anything. I talk to people all the time about what they can do. I have a friend who's an actor over in England, and he's brilliant. I mean, great actor. And he was going to do a channel where he taught people how to get jobs in acting. And I've talked to him over the past few years, and he hasn't done anything. And it's like, you got to do something. That's what it comes down to, is you got to do something. Or if somebody will start something and then they quit, it's that consistency. It's showing up every day. I mean, I show up every day and do this live for you guys. But in addition to that, I film videos and I upload those videos. I upload 5 videos a week. That's a lot of videos to me. I mean, to some people they do 5 a day or whatever. I mean, that's insanity. But it's that constant just drudging of doing it. On Wednesday, I did my videos, but I had a lot of other stuff going on because I went and got the COVID shot. And I couldn't, I had 12 scheduled and I only got 8 done. That was on Wednesday. So yesterday I had 4 left, and I was looking at it and I was like, well, I got 4 left. I've got the scripts written. However, I've got enough in the hopper where I'll be fine for a couple weeks. So maybe I'll just do those next week. And then I was like, now go in your office and film the 4 friggin' videos. So late yesterday afternoon, I went and filmed the 4 friggin' videos and got them done. Now they're behind me, but it's really forcing yourself to do these things you don't want to do. Yesterday we had to work out. Yesterday was push-up day. Yesterday was all upper body day. And I was like, my arm was so sore from that COVID shot. I'm like, well, man, my arm is sore today. It's going to hurt too much. And I'm like, no, just go ahead and do your push-ups. So you have these battles in your brain all the time that are telling you not to do stuff that are uncomfortable for you. If they're uncomfortable for you, they're probably good for you. And I went ahead and did all my push-ups. I did my whole workout, and it hurt. It hurt. But I was fine. There was nothing wrong with me, okay? I had a sore arm. Suck it up, buttercup. Success, what is it? Success is a journey, not a destination. That is so true. And it's like every day pushing yourself, guys. Every single day pushing yourself. When you think, oh, I don't have to do this or I don't want to do this, do it. Do it anyhow. Do it anyhow. If I want to leave you with anything today, that's is that you got to do it anyhow. What time we got? 9:30. We did it. We got it done by 9:30. Guys, thank you so much for listening to this. I really do appreciate it, man. You guys mean the world to me. Do me a favor, if you would, subscribe if you haven't done so. If that button's red down there, click it, turn it gray. Don't forget to ring the bell. Turn on all bell notifications so that you're notified every time I upload a video or I go live. Give me a thumbs up. Okay, that's all the commercial stuff, right? That's all the commercial stuff. I have a lot of links below. If you want to get more information, a couple of things you can do. You can check out one of my courses below. You can go through my channel and just watch and binge on videos. I mean, I would suggest doing that. I've got over 800 and some odd videos on this channel. It grows every single day. There's more and more knowledge there for you. The knowledge is there. If you want it more organized, you grab one of my courses. If you just want to go through knowledge, go through my YouTube channel. Bottom line is all the information is there, but you've got to do something with it. Looking forward to seeing lunch post. Cool, Paul. Yeah, I am going to post that today. I don't even have a place we're going yet, but we will figure it out. We will go to a cool place, because if you're looking forward to it, I got to supply you with a good lunch, right? I mean, hey, right? That's required. Hey guys, thanks so much. I appreciate you listening. I appreciate you being here. Let me get over to my OBS software right there. There we go. There we go. Camera's a little bit better, I think. You know, put in the comments what you think. I think it's a little bit crisper, a little bit clearer. I'm using a Logitech camera. I think my lighting is too bright up here on the top. Got to work on that a little bit. But outside that, I think it's a lot clearer. You can see stuff like these nice sayings right here. You can see that stuff, right? Nice saying. Or this nice saying right here. You can see it right here. There you go. And these little Easter eggs, that's what they call them, is Easter eggs, or to remind you guys of stuff. Do me a favor. On Monday, if we talk on Monday on my live, be able to put in the chat section what you got accomplished this weekend. And accomplished doesn't mean finished, but you did something. Okay, you did something. What did you do? Tell me about it on Monday. I'm going to remind you on Monday to tell me about what you did. I want to know. I've got a cool live tomorrow. Check it out. It's at 10 a.m. You can look on my channel to find out what that's about. I would suggest you doing that. Binge on my videos this weekend, guys. Go in there, binge on the videos, watch a whole bunch of them. Say I'm going to watch 50 videos in a row, and I guarantee you, you're going to have more knowledge than you had before. Thank you so much for watching this. I appreciate each and every one of you. Put all your comments in there. If you're watching this after I've gone live, feel free to put your questions. I will come back and answer those. Thank you for being here. Love you guys. Talk to you.